name is Emily Addis. Welcome to this video. Today I'm going to be talking about 5 different exercises that you can use to incorporate into your weightlifting journey to slowly transition and build up strength as well as confidence and kind of move into calisthenics or just build up overall body strength. So the first exercise is going to be pull-ups. It's a classic. I know I didn't want to put it in the beginning of the video because everyone says it, but it's probably the #1 thing that helps me build up my upper body strength for a bunch of different movements, and not only the aesthetic of having muscles, but also the strength that you're going to need to do cool tricks in calisthenics. So pull-ups hit just about all of those muscles in your arms that you think about. So we're going to think about our biceps, and then our latissimus dorsi, and also our forearm muscles, as well as a bunch of stabilizing muscles like our rotator cuffs, which are really important for overall balance in your muscles. Okay, so note on pull-up form, it's really important so that we can develop that full body control that we're going for. So the first thing you're going to want to do is jump up to the bar and grab it, and keeping your body in a straight line. Now, the most important thing that I had to learned my lesson after taking years of too much time to actually figure this out, but what you're going to want to do is pull your scapula, so your shoulder blades, back and together and down. So not like this, together and down. And then you're going to want to keep your body in a full straight line, feet together, pull up to the top and down. Just like that. And just a note on form that you're not going to want to have any momentum, so we don't want to be swinging our legs too much or kipping or anything, because if we do that, then we're not going to be able to progress in the way that we actually have body control, so we're not developing all of the muscles that we need exactly, and we're skimping on form, and that's going to hurt you in the long term. So it's better to just take those progressions slow and actually develop the strength that you're going to need so that you can get to that pull-up form correctly and while developing full control. So we're gonna go over some progressions now so that you can see how you can build up to that pull-up if you're not there already. Let's go. Okay, so the first progression that I used to help develop my pull-up strength was inverted rows. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna come to a bar. If you can adjust the bar, you could use a squat rack bar, and that could be really helpful too, depending on the height. The higher it is, the easier it is. As these progressions get harder and you need a higher challenge with the bar, you can actually lower it, and then you'll be increasing the actual force that you have to exert with your muscle. So you're gonna put your hands on the bar like this, walk your feet under it, and then squeeze those scapulas like I showed you in the video. So step back and then pull with the arms. And if this is too easy, like I said, you can either walk your feet under the bar more, maybe not for this one because I'm as far as it goes. Walk those feet more centered under the bar, and then that will be a slightly easier progression. Okay, the next progression that you can use for your pull-up is going to be using a resistance band or an assist machine at the gym. I use the assist machine because I didn't get my resistance bands until way too late. I would recommend getting them sooner if you're trying to integrate more into calisthenics. I just love them now. I used the weighted assist machine for a long time, and that just counterbalances some of your body weight and allows you to develop the pull-up at a reasonable progression. Okay, so you might need a box to get up onto this, or you can jump. Depending on your level. Okay, but I would recommend a box or a step if you have, but either way, put one or both of your feet in it, and it's basically the same progression. Engage those shoulders, pull up, make sure your chin's going all the way over the bar, and then depending on if you need one or multiple bands, you can add as many resistance bands or weights as you like and need and help you. Okay, so if you're going for hypertrophy to build those muscles, shoot for about 8 to 12 reps. I would always start with 8 because pull-ups are hard enough in themselves, so I always stuck to the lower end of the range. But if you're going for strength, then I would stay below 5 reps or so. If you're developing your pull-up now, I would definitely recommend sticking more towards the hypertrophy as you try to develop form and staying with the easier progressions. So even if you need 2 bands, that's totally fine. Use as much resistance band assist as you need just to make sure you get that good form so you can develop to the full pull-up. So the last progression is going to be a pull-up negative. So you're going to go into the pull-up position, and then using a bar or chair or anything, get into the upper hold of the pull-up with your chin over the bar and slowly release downward. Great. And then start over again. So you use assist in order to get up into the full position, and then slowly releasing. That's the hard part, the slow release down. All right, and then you'll be able to go into the full pull-up, where now you can just do your body weight. Just a tip, you're gonna wanna keep your body in a full straight line, so squeeze those legs together, try and keep them straight. Don't like do weird things where you're at an L sit or anything. You wanna have your body in a fairly straight line right here, not like that or that or that or that or whatever. Try and keep your legs together. And also, if this progression is too easy for you, you can start adding weight, having a weight at your belt or at your legs, or using harder progressions. So there's not only the pull-up with your hands in the normal position like this, you can also have your hands in the wider position, which targets slightly different muscles and is harder for me. Or you can also do the chin up, which is more biceps dominated. So not like this, so your hands face towards your body. So that. Okay, so the second calisthenics exercise that you can integrate into your hypertrophy weightlifting workout is gonna be leg lifts. This is my favorite core exercise. It's definitely helped me make my core look a lot more aesthetic because it targets your rectus abdominis as well as your hip flexors. So stronger hip flexors is good considering we sit all day and it's horrible for them. But also your rectus abdominis is your outer abdominal muscles. So there's not only your inner ones, which are somewhat more functional, but your rectus abdominis, which is your outer six-pack, which you think of when you think of your six-pack. These are the muscles that you're going to develop in order to have that type of strength as well as aesthetic. So these are the leg lifts. There's a few progressions that I'm going to note. You're basically hanging, lift them to 90 and back down. Lift them to 90 and back down. So you can see I'm targeting my hip flexors as well as my core. Okay, so the first progression is going to be hanging. So just to get comfortable, if you aren't already with just hanging from the bar, develop some of that grip strength as well as forearm strength. First progression, just hang from the bar. Okay, second progression is hanging from the bar. Now you're going to raise your knees up to your chest. It's okay if they only go to this far. It's okay if you can only get them up a little bit. If you can get them as far to your chest as possible here, that's awesome. So progression number 2. Okay, so the last progression, leg lifts. So like I talked about before, you don't want to have a lot of swinging movement. Try and really keep that core so you're not just like swinging with your legs like this. You want it to be nice and controlled. And then if this is too easy, you can improve and go to toe to bar, lifting your legs all the way up to the top of the bottom, like this. That one's my favorite. Okay, the third exercise is gonna be dips, another classic. Dips are gonna target a little bit of everything. So you're gonna think about your arm muscles, especially your triceps, as well as your anterior delts, and your chest muscles, as well as some of the muscles in your back, like your rhombus. Okay, so you're gonna wanna start with your arms about shoulder width apart. So if you have a wider shoulders, you're gonna need bars that are farther apart, but for me, I have small shoulders, so what you're gonna wanna do is you're gonna keep your chest up and bend forward as you move down with your triceps, then push back. Trying to keep your back nice and straight here as well, so not like that. And then, so push your shoulders away from your ears, and then dip down, all the way back up. So that's the full dip. Now we're gonna go through progressions. Okay, so first progression is gonna be normal dips. You can use a stool, you can use a bar, anything that's lower to the ground where you can have your feet on the ground, and you're gonna wanna just bend both at the hips and the shoulders here. So bend down and then push back with your triceps. Okay, so the next progression that I use the most in order to develop my full body weight dip, because let's be real, dips are really hard. They were challenging. It took me a while to develop the body weight dip and then to add weight onto the body weight dip. But one thing that I did use a lot was the weight assist machine at the gym, or you can use a resistance band. So basically, just add your resistance band to your bars that you're gonna use for dips. Put your knees on that bar, and then as you do your dip now, you have extra assist. That was the last progression, and now you should be able to slowly progress into having full body weight dips. Okay, so the fourth exercise is gonna be your pistol squat variations. So usually in the gym, you're gonna have your squat rack and you're gonna progress from your normal body weight squat, and you can add on weights using a dumbbell to develop that two-leg compound movement. But here, what I really like about pistol squats is it forces you to incorporate a little bit of balance as well as unilateral strength because you're going down and pushing up with only one side. So today I'm going to show you the progressions that I use to get my pistol squat. Okay, so this is the full pistol squat. It's going to target a little bit of your quads as well as your glutes. You got your calves, a little bit of hamstrings, your adductor muscles, which are in your inner thighs. And of course we have a bit of core too. The normal pistol squat, you're going to use one leg and you're going to bend at the knee, go all the way down, and then push back up while really squeezing your glutes and quads. So kind of just what you think of for a normal squat, but especially engaging your glute muscle. First progression that I would use in order to get my pistol squat is going to be using a bar. So starting down on the floor and then literally pulling yourself up a bit with the bar in order to get it back down and up. So think about like climbing the bar. Make sure you do both sides too. Okay, so the next progression that I used, and the one that I mostly used in order to get my pistol squat, was starting with a box. Love a good box. You're gonna stand with one foot, the other foot, you're gonna actually just bend to the leg that's on the box enough that you can tap your foot on the ground and push back up. So it should look like this. And don't forget to switch sides. So using the other side now. And then you can develop eventually to your full pistol squat, which is going to be, like I said, just one foot out like this, pushing up. And eventually you can progress to your dragon squat, which is something I'm still working on. But instead of having your foot that's straight out in front of you, it actually goes behind you and then stand up, which is much easier when you're on a box like I am than when you're on the floor, because when you're on the floor, you don't have to lift that leg as much. I'm gonna try it on the floor. Trying it on the floor. Take two, okay. Almost. Still working on that one. Okay, so the final fifth exercise that I would recommend that you can incorporate into your overall hypertrophy workout is going to be the push-up, and it's a classic. And I personally don't like the push-up. It's a love-hate relationship, mostly hate, but it is what it is because it's really good for your chest and overall core. So there's a lot of different variations, but you can use your military push-up, which is when your triceps are going to be the main focus, going back behind your body. And then there's also what I learned as the normal push-up, which is when you're more chest focused, going down like that. And since I don't enjoy the push-up, I'm gonna recommend to you variations that I find actually kind of fun and I do incorporate into my normal everyday workout. So the first variation is gonna be your iguana push-up, which is when you're staggering your arms, and this one's a little bit more advanced, but you're gonna stagger your arms, lift one leg, or you can even just have it slightly higher, and you're gonna go into the push-up here. So this puts a lot of focus on one arm at a time, so you're gonna have to switch. And it's easier if your knee is not touching the floor like this, but if you rest it on the floor, also totally good. This is a better progression. This one can make you sore. So that's the first push-up progression that I'd recommend. The next push-up that I would recommend is gonna be one-legged. This one's also more advanced, but I really enjoy it because it's a little bit of a yoga flow. So instead of doing your normal push-up, triceps back, military push-up, lift one leg. So a little bit of back is required, as well as a little extra core stabilization here. And then the last push-up exercise that I would recommend is going to be your diamond push-up. These are harder for me, so feel free to use the band assist if that's helpful for you. But you're going to have your fingers forming a diamond position like this, and then push up here. And that's it for push-ups. So So those are the 5 exercises that I would recommend that you start incorporating into your hypertrophy or weightlifting workouts so that you can slowly build up calisthenic strength that will let you do really cool skills, but also make you feel really strong and confident. So like and subscribe if you want to see more. I make videos on fitness, overall physical, and your visual health. So I'll see you in the next video. Bye.